Whew. Okay, okay. Looks good, looks good. We'll check and make sure that all of this is right. But thank you very much for your patronage, and thank you for coming to the Superhero Dry Cleaning. All right, well, thank you so much for coming today. I've got a few items here I'm just going to go through real quick and make sure that everything is as it should be. All right, now these sleep pants belong to Cyclops, is that right? Mr. Cyclops? Okay, so quick question. Are these in any way unstable molecules? No? Okay, I'm just seeing here they are a cotton blend. That is perfectly fine. Then I do have to make sure whenever I take clothing from the Marvel Universe that they do not have unstable molecules. Unstable molecules are very useful when people need to change their costume quickly, such as Storm, who can fire a lightning blast and then change into her costume, but also characters, particularly in the Fantastic Four. It is why Reed Richards' costume is able to change shape with him. It's why Sue is able to turn invisible as the Invisible Woman, and of course it's why the Human Torch is able to flame on without burning off of his clothes. Those are all because of unstable molecules. But if you dry clean unstable molecules, they will destabilize, turn everything around them into protoplasmic goo, and kill me. So I just always like to check, but this won't be a problem. I'll have Cyclops' sleep pants clean. It's like he's monogrammed them with Jean's name. I'm not even going to check on that. Okay, here we've got red, black, running shorts. These belong to Robin. Okay, this is just a fun little thing we want to make sure and do whenever you get a gadget-heavy superhero. We always make sure to check them for items. Oh, see, here is Batarang. Here is a pill that allows you to simulate death. Do not ingest that if you've just been drinking, or it will kill you. And of course, shark repellent. There's a few other things in here, but you always want to make sure and check very carefully whenever you get any superhero's clothes, but especially ones like Batman, ones like Robin, guys who have a lot of gadgets. They're gonna find it in the lining. There's a lot of technology. You definitely want to check that all. The last thing you want is a nanite bomb going off just as you're bringing down the steamer. That can be somewhat awkward. Okay, and you have just a plain blue shirt here, and this is for the Punisher. Huh. You know, I always pictured the Punisher always wearing black, and whew, yikes, there are a lot of bloodstains. A lot. Okay. Another lesson in the future. Remember, when you're going through your superhero dry cleaning, remember to wear gloves. I'm going to need to use a lot of disinfectant in a little bit. Fortunately, this blood is dry. Definitely going to. I have several special solutions that are good for this sort of stain, and also I have full immunity. Attorney-client privilege type thing. Anything that I see here is not admissible evidence, because technically most of the things superheroes give me would probably get them put away in jail for, 7 to 10 years. I've got a few more items here, so pull those out real quick. Yes. I have here, these are Matt Murdock's socks. Matt Murdock's, of course, is Daredevil. Yes, I know all of their secret identities, but it's part of my job. Well, it's a good question. Do I get kidnapped and tortured to give out their information? Yes, yes. Fortunately, I am actually a hard light construct. I am not technically alive, so I can't be tortured for information. So works out pretty nicely, and so far no one's been able to hack me. But these I always make sure to double wash. See, Matt has incredibly enhanced senses. So if you get even the tiniest little speck left over of extra laundry detergent or a little twig, anything like that, he's going to feel it. And it's going to bug him all day long. The last thing he needs is to be distracted when he's giving his closing remarks to put the kingpin in jail for 25 to life. So whenever you get a super sense type guy, you want to make sure and get those really well done. Oh, here we have just the most basic undershirt. Let's see who this is for. Oh, this is actually Superman's. Now, a lot of people don't know this, but a lot of Superman's clothing is actually made with Kryptonian fibers. Now, there's a reason for that, and it's because of his super speed. So, think about it. Superman's outfit, of course, is of Kryptonian make. It's super strong, super durable, almost impossible to tear. But, if you are changing from Superman to Clark Kent or vice versa, and you are removing an article of clothing at Mach 7, you are going to tear it to shreds. So, therefore, this very innocuous item can stop a large caliber bullet. It is very tough. So we have to put the Kryptonian items in a special vat that uses a highly concentrated acid. It will not harm the clothing, but man, will it get out stains. I sure love it. Now, let's keep going here. Next we have, ooh, we've got some underwear. Now, this underwear is actually Charles Xavier's boxers. I know what you're thinking, what everybody thinks. Charles Xavier, he's got to be a briefs guy, right? Nope, he's a boxer guy all the way. When you're sitting down as much as he is, you want something that's nice and comfortable. Also, fun fact, the outer lining of the elastic actually has psionic inhibitors. Now, these will not affect Charles Xavier because he's wearing them, but what they do is they help blunt any psionic attack. You would be amazed when you're a psychic how often other psychics attack you. I don't know why that is. It'd be like, I guess the Punisher does get shot at a lot. It's just one of those things. So all of his clothing is actually lined with this psionic dampening, and boy, does it make it comfy. So comfy to wear, just snuggly. I guess I really shouldn't be snuggling a man's underwear, but that's okay. That's okay. Now, we have here, this is one of my favorites. This is a running shirt of the Flash. Now, you might think, like I said, with Superman, that the Flash's clothing is specially made to protect against the incredible speeds that he goes. Actually, no. Now, his normal uniform is the one that he wears in his ring that pops out that he puts on. That is actually resistant to the extreme forces, but his normal clothing isn't. And you might wonder, well, then why, when he changes clothing, why doesn't it get torn to shreds? And the answer is simple: the Speed Force. One thing Superman does not have is the Speed Force. And the Speed Force actually works, well, it kind of takes care of everything. See, the Flash's powers really shouldn't work. If a man could run at half the speed of light, he would instantly die. He would not be able to respirate. His movement would just tear his flesh right off of his bones. He would die instantly. But the Speed Force just kind of smooths all of that over. So he can actually get in and out of these clothes without damaging them at all. But there are limits, which is why his super costume is actually resistant. And I do have a secondary chamber that I use for the superhero costumes that is quite handy and resistant to most enemy attacks. So now that we've gone through this list, let's see what you've got to offer. I am ready and willing to clean any superhero's underwear. Thank you so much for coming to my superhero cleaning. This was a suggestion from one of my wonderful viewers, just like you. If you have a suggestion, put it in the comments. I will consider doing it. And if you would like to make sure that your suggestion, bink, goes up to the top, become a Patreon supporter. I have some wonderful Patreon supporters out there, like Sarah, like Max, like Aaron, who are all fantastic. And whenever you suggest something as one of my Patreon supporters, your suggestion, bink, goes right up to the top. Thank you so much for watching Role Play